and therefore skirting it that way because they're out there putting tent on the roof at 5 AM. So it's gonna be a work in progress, but we can definitely add language, I think, that discusses how the violation is processed, so that we do not capture and penalize those people. That would satisfy where you're coming from.
And we can make, if you decide to have construction hour limitations, we will make that part of the development approval for any development that comes in, that the city limits construction hours between this hour and this hour. And the developer has to sign a statement that says, I understand and will comply with these requirements. And we can hand out a flyer with every building permit review. These are the hours that the city allows construction. Please be mindful. Because we review every building permit that goes to Walton County. We just do. And we can make people aware that way. And on the odd chance somebody's putting up a board fence, you know, here's the problem with that. By the time we can get somebody out there, notify them, it may be stopped. You know, like, we've all got kids. Mommy, he's looking at me, and by the time you turn around, it's done. You know what I'm saying? But we can try to reduce the bulk of the noise to manageable hours. And where developers are constructing multiple houses that are compounding, you know, the impacts on neighbors, that's, we certainly can address. You know, in the individual, that's going to be more difficult. We're going to have to use a certain amount of common sense and discretion. And as we always do, it's first about educating and using extreme courtesy. Hey, know you're working on this, the city let you know, the city does have construction hours, try to do it after this hour and before this hour. We appreciate it, kind of thing, because kindness goes a whole lot further than coming in all like Rambo and trying to bust somebody's chops. We don't want to do that either. But we do want compliance, but we want to do it in a courteous and kind way. We don't want to go in, you know, all Billy Bob on it. Because, but anyway, we're waiting on your direction, what you want us to do. I just wanted to bring it to your attention for discussion. So what do you want to do?
I think the verbiage of it needs to be extremely specific. So I feel that that's one of these things we should draft something up and we need to review that before we hastily do something, because that's the trap that I see. If we leave it vague, we're going to have compliance issues, enforcement, and then interpretation problems. And
it can be loophole city, which is why I am not even willing to address this without Clay's help and review and advice.
Yeah.
This is one of those issues that he and I will work together to come up with language that's clear, enforceable, and it addresses your concerns. I don't draft an ordinance or anything without Clay looking at it first to make sure it's legally defensible. But
Latilda and I argue back and forth over this far more than what you see. So if you ever wonder why it seems like, I'm just like, yeah, it's fine, Latilda, or she doesn't have a comment, it's because we fought way too long before we ever got here, and we've ironed out all the wrinkles.
usually that's what happens. I'll send it to him, he'll say, no. I'll send it again with changes, and that's just how it goes.
If Art sits there till he gets tired of us and throws cold water on us, and then we
Pretty
go to our
much.
quarters and red light it, it works out.
But that's our process, and we work very closely together, and I feel very strongly that's why our city is such an example to other communities, because we all work together so hard to come up with a reasonable, rational solution to whatever's going on. So if you want to direct us to, I don't know if we need a motion for you to direct staff to draft something and bring it back to you to review.
That would be the best path. If Kim's comfortable, that's what we would take direction to do.
So,
We just take direction, we don't even need a motion.
Raquel, one
Sir.
thing that I would ask too,
yes, sir.
if, when you're gonna bring it back, could you get it to all of us through an email or something?
Absolutely.
Where we can
I
see it
will-
ahead of time?
I will send it to you for a draft for you to review,
That way
and I
we-
will call each of you and say, here's the draft, and you've got time, let's sit down and let's go through it so that we can really see what we're doing. Because this is too important to get it wrong. You know what I mean? Because people are rightfully so a little touchy when somebody says they're being too loud. So we want to get it right the first time, but I'll get a hold of you all ahead of time with the draft. I'll point and do kind of a outline so you can see the main points. And so you have a time to respond or come back to me and say, what about this? I don't know how that's going to work, so we can talk it
Gives us
out.
all time to really prepare.
Absolutely,
when we go into
sir.
that meeting.
I'll try to get it to you a month before we put it actually on an agenda, so you have time to review it and redline it and get comments back to us. We want to feel like you're all fairly comfortable with it before we bring it back to an agenda, because I wouldn't want to have to go through the edit process at a meeting. First of all, it takes too long. So that's what we'll do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we're good on that.
Yes.
Water?
Oh, I love this secret so much. Love it. I love this secret.
Morning, council. Couple items this morning. One item is the purchase of a new vehicle that's budgeted for this year. I've gotten 3 quotes. The first quote was Triangle Chevrolet for $37,009.10. The second quote was $37,795. And third quote from Earnhardt Chevrolet was $37,795. And I'm asking approval to purchase from Triangle Chevrolet, being the lowest bid for $37,009.10.
I make that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Is there any public comment? Councilwoman Hafner.
Aye.
Councilwoman Hirsch.
Aye.
Councilman Ferris. Councilwoman Brennan. And Councilman Dickey.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Second item, council is also a budgeted item for the brush cutter. I've gotten 2 quotes back. Quotes on this. First quote was for Thompson Cat, it's for Caterpillar. It's $26,773. The second quote was from Ring Power, $26,941.95. I did receive a quote over the weekend via email, which would be my third quote. And that was from Layton Caterpillar. It was $31,500. So the lowest quote price is Thompson Cat for $26,773. And I'm asking approval to purchase with them.
I'll make that motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further comment? Any public comment? Councilwoman Hafner.
Aye.
Councilwoman Hirsch.
Aye.
Councilman Ferris.
Aye.
Councilwoman Brennan. And Councilman Dickey.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you, council.
Well, today's meeting is time for us to present the Employee of the Month and the Supervisor of the Quarter. I'm going to go down front and read the certificate for them. First, we'll do the Employee of the Month. This is in recognition of your dedication, passion, and hard work supporting the residents of the city of Freeport. On the 14th day of October 2025, the Employee of the Month is from Finance, April Nicken.
Gorgeous.
Brad.
And next is the Supervisor of the Quarter for the same recognition of your dedication, passion, hard work, and supporting the residents of the city of Freeport. On the 14th day of October, I present the Supervisor of the Quarter certificate to Daniel DeBoer. Congratulations.
All of his direct reportable savings grade.
That's what?
Direct reportable savings grade. He's a department one.
Is there any public comment? If not, meeting's adjourned.